I just struck gold here. This was my binder. It kind of served as my resume for a lot of years. I remember walking this thing all around the Interbike show, like visiting sponsors and stuff, this big clunky thing. You want to hear the opening line? Mountain biking is a sport which allows you to express yourself with your own style, and one that I have come to love and work hard at. Not bad.
I think a lot of people think of extreme athletes as being a little wild and a little crazy, and Thomas was never that.
I think he had the carefulness and the desire to make a career out of it. I mean, we talked about it a lot when he graduated from high school because I really wanted him to go to university. And he said, 4 years out of this and there won't be anything to come back to.
I've spent the last 20 years competing, filming, riding my bike all over the world. And it's hard for me to pinpoint one thing that has led to the length of career that I've been able to enjoy. It's a combination of things. Probably first and foremost, just a true passion for mountain biking. I really enjoy riding my bike, and I think that's what has allowed me to do it for so long. Having kids, having a family, inevitably changes, I think, your perspective on life, and also for me, my perspective on my chosen profession. It's, it's the cliche, I guess, but your priorities just completely change. It's not all about you anymore. I don't know if it was exactly calculated, but I think it was the last year I rode Rampage was the year before my daughter was born. I think I've just become less selfish about my own time. My time isn't just mine anymore. It's theirs, and I love sharing my time with them and getting as much time as I can with them.
It's just a great joy to me to see him with his family. And he definitely tries to be part of his family despite his sort of erratic schedule.
Yeah, I've been even more sort of dedicated to my job and trying to be as efficient with my time as possible. I think having a family's made me a better professional. I didn't actually start mountain biking on the North Shore. I grew up in Edmonton, Alberta, which is probably not the first place you'd think of when you think of mountain biking. As a kid, I just had a blast exploring the river valley, riding around my neighborhood, around the streets. I didn't know anything else, and I was perfectly content.
He spent a lot of time in that alley. Everybody who I'm still in contact with from Edmonton will talk about the kid who did the wheelies up and down the street.
This alley was really one of my first introductions to mountain biking. My neighbor across the street here, one day, shortly after moving into our house, I looked out and I saw him wheelie all the way up this alley, and I was just basically mesmerized. and decided that I had to learn how to do that.
You, I forget your first name, but Vanderham.
Thomas.
Thomas. Yeah, we bought the house from your mom and dad. I heard you're famous, so I should get your autograph.
No, nothing like that.
No.
Yeah.
You're obviously still riding?
I am still riding, yeah.
When we announced that we were going to make the move to North Vancouver, Thomas was not happy. He was not wanting to leave the scene that he had here. On the trip that I took to check out the scene in Vancouver, I visited a bicycle shop and was able to get my hands on a video that the guy in the bike shop thought Thomas would appreciate. I gave the video to Thomas. He took it downstairs, came up half an hour later, and said, "Okay, I'll move to Vancouver."
My name is Thomas Vanderham. I didn't know really that I was truly moving into the heart of the freeride scene at that time. And in retrospect, 1998 was a very pivotal year for the North Shore. It was really becoming globally recognized for the riding that was happening there and the unique trails and stunts that were being built. And I was just transplanted right into the middle of it and quickly became embedded in the whole freeride movement. It was a really exciting time to be a young kid on the shore. I started working at the Cove Bike Shop, and Wade Simmons was also working there at that time. So I got to sort of rub shoulders with Wade a bit in the back and get to know him, and then, having the chance to start riding with him, be his teammate for so many years at Rocky, and really become good friends.
This line's probably 20 years old. It never gets easier. It probably gets harder.
It's quite a way to get the ride going, isn't it?
I dropped it. The shoot's the easy part.
That's almost as good as a third cup of coffee in the morning. All about that one. That's the crux.
The whole line equates to 6 inches here.
Should we drop some more PSI? Basically gonna try and once again go as slow as possible.
Wow. I got a little offline there. That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculously slippery. At this point, I've been working with Sterling for about 20 years. We've had the chance to travel the world together, and I think in some ways our careers have kind of paralleled one another.
It's all blowing out the back there.
If I'm being honest with myself, I never did my best riding in competitions. I always struggled with nerves. I always felt like I rode a bit tight. Filming is always kind of where my greatest passion was, and I really like working with a team on a common goal of documenting mountain biking in the best way possible. I love the creative element that you can bring to it and your own individual style. That was the environment that I felt most comfortable in and where I felt like I did my best riding.
That might fire a little bit in a second.
I'll get up there. Yeah, the recipe that we look for shooting photos and film, I mean, it doesn't get any better than today. Girl, you good for what?